What you see here is a Moss Tropical Breeze Deluxe. What you see here is a Kenroy 1052. At one point in time, when I was young and naive, I could not tell the difference between these two fans. For all I knew, they were the same thing. Now, however, I can point out multiple features that make these two fans unique. And in retrospect, it is fairly easy to tell the difference if you know what to look for. So today I wanted to make a video highlighting the major differences between a Moss Tropical Breeze Deluxe and a Kenroy 1052. At least aesthetically. Build-wise, I'm sure there are some more intricate differences that I'm not aware of. Perhaps someone more technically inclined toward that could let me know in the comments. I would be interested to hear it. But anyways, let's get started. So first of all, funny enough, one of the biggest reasons that I like Moss Tropical Breeze Deluxes, and to an extent consider them a childhood fan, is because at one point in time I thought a Kenroy 1052, this exact one as a matter of fact, was a Moss Tropical Breeze Deluxe. Clearly it is not, but me misconstruing that fan's model caused me to get an interest in a whole different fan model. Kind of interesting how that works, isn't it? So looking at this fan, the shape of the switch housing here has one ridge where it gets wider, and the pull chain and reverse switch are located on opposite sides. On the Kenroy switch housing, there are two ridges where it gets wider, and the pull chain and reverse switch are much closer to each other. There is only about 1/8 of the switch housing circumference separating them. The Kenroy switch housing is also slightly wider. It's hard to tell as this fan has a light fitter on it, but if I were to take the Tropical Breeze Deluxe's switch cap off and try to put it on this fan, it would not fit. The cap would be barely too small. The other most noticeable feature is the canopy configuration. The Tropical Breeze Deluxe has a flat top canopy and a bell-like bottom canopy. This style is very akin to Commander, as while Kenroy is the brand of this fan, Commander, as far as I know, is the builder. And other such manufacturers like Tropicool would use this exact same canopy configuration as a result, though as all those fans came from Commander. The Tropical Breeze Deluxe has no bottom canopy, just a coupler piece and a more round-shaped bell canopy on top. This is definitely the most easy way to tell the difference. The motors are quite similar, as both fans are top-mounted spinners, but the Kenroy motor is ever so slightly bigger. It has slightly larger vents, and the radius is about a 1/2 inch larger than the Tropical Breeze. Additionally, the windings in the Tropical Breeze Deluxe are painted over with some sort of protective coating, making them appear black. On the Kenroy, they don't have that, and the windings have their natural orangish color. Now let's have a quick demonstration. The Kenroy's speeds are slightly fast as that fan uses a speed coil. The Tropical Breeze Deluxe's speeds are slightly slower. One thing I can tell you, however, is that the two fans' mounting brackets and the way that they mount are the same, with a fairly loose double claw hook with two rubber bushings on either side. And that means that both of these fans are incredibly inept to wobbling. Any slight discrepancy in the blade pitch causes a wobble. The Kenroy has a quieter motor, but its bearings are louder. The louder bearings may be attributed to the environment that these fans were installed in. Had they been installed in the same environment, their bearings may have been the same. Additionally, one other note about the Kenroy is the cane blades on it are not original to that fan. Its original blades are right here. They're not on the fan as they are currently a little warped, and I am attempting to de-warp them. They are of a dark walnut, and they are solid, with a rounded top point tip. These blades are of a slightly different shape than the ones that would be sold with a Moss. They also have point tip, but Moss blades are a little more flat. These ones are much more round. In fact, to illustrate my point, see right there. Now, real quick, show these two on high speed side by side. The Tropical Breeze Deluxe is spinning fairly fast, moving a pretty good amount of air. The Kenroy, meanwhile, is hauling. For a spinner motor fan, the amount of air that this thing moves is insanely impressive. And this one's at a disadvantage because of how close it is to the wall. The light globe is also rattling a little bit. In terms of power, the Kenroy is the clear winner, though the Tropical Breeze Deluxe is no slouch either. The blade irons on these two fans are practically the exact same, and both of them do have the motors that spin with the blades as the fan operates. I always thought this was very amusing how there's vents on the motor and the vents spin along with the motor as the blades spin. Something I always thought was fairly amusing. I'm sure that I did not come anywhere close to comparing every last minute similarity and difference between these two fans, but that's okay. I just wanted to make a fairly brief video discussing these two fans and showing off some of their similarities and differences, as well as showing them in action side by side. So anyways, there you go. That is a Moss Tropical Breeze Deluxe and a Kenroy 1052 compared side by side.